plenty. Aisha, 100 points up on the Nifty. Well, we're fast inching towards 150 points, but we'll wait for those rates to settle before we get excited. 0.5% higher on an HDFC Bank. No surprise with the way in which those rates are moving. Let's pull up also the Reliance Industries move today. Okay, 1% higher now on an HDFC, 2.5% lower on an ICICI. So that strong result being sold into, but look at that. Reliance Industries, 2.6% higher in trade. And that's where the zing on the Nifty is also likely coming from. Mind you, some of the chunky contributors coming out with earnings. 4% move on an RBL Bank as well, as we can see. Let's look at what an IndusInd is doing. It's down around 1% thereabouts in trade, 1.5% in trade. Let's now look at the Ultratech Cement move as well, because that one also came out with numbers 2.25 down on an IndusInd, 0.5% low on an Ultratech. Mind you, good set of numbers on an Ultratech, so nothing wrong per se, but as one would expect, we're seeing a bit of a cool off there. JSW Steel also down around 0.7% in trade. Some of the IT stocks are doing fairly well for themselves. Mind you, on the back of those banking numbers, you're seeing Kotak Mahindra Bank doing well as well in trade, 2.5% higher. But IT is where some of the trade is again shifting towards this week, surprisingly, even though no numbers came out except an LTTS. The other one that came out with numbers was an AU Small Finance Bank. Banks IT is what I'm focusing on just because of the move on the index, largely led by those heavyweights. Now, 0.75% higher on the Nifty 50 index. We're closing in on 26K, 25,900 breached and taken out. AU Small Finance Bank is up 7% in trade. Large upgrade by Citi, and just the numbers really stood out. The margin increase was a bit of a surprise where an AU Small Finance Bank is concerned. 7% higher, settling in at 850 rupees a piece. Citi hiking the target price to 990 from 850. So getting that right is what a Citi has done. Again, some of the banks holding up. Axis Bank is up 2% as well. Let's pull out the Nifty Bank and some of its constituents. Yes, on the back of numbers, muted kind of move, but 5% higher on a Federal. Mind you, Federal, good set of numbers. Also, we're expected to see a fundraise on the 24th of October. So you'll want to keep Federal Bank on your radar. 58,000 taken out on the Nifty Bank. It's playing out thick and fast today in trade. But let's also start looking at sectors. Let's see what the Nifty Pharma Index is doing. Let's see what the Nifty Private Bank is now looking like. The Nifty Bank, of course, breaching those highs. What's the Nifty Metal doing? I'd want to know all of those. You're seeing a good breadth on the index as well. 1,450 advances to just about 840 odd declines. So the broader market's also participating well in trade. Nifty Metal muted on a day like this, not a surprise. The Nifty small cap and mid cap indices likely not as sharp in terms of their move as the Nifty 50 index, and that is obvious because banks, Reliance and IT seems to be contributing to that move on the Nifty 50 index. Let's pull out the auto index as well, see what that one is doing, get a sense of the trades that are out there at play. 1% higher on the Nifty IT index, mind you, so that's a good move. 4.7% higher on the Nifty Auto. The Nifty FMCG also 6.7% higher. Across, now you've got Reliance up 3% in trade, but across indices, even sectors, we're seeing green, and that's a key positive in a market like this. 1,500 plus advances on the NSE now that we're seeing it. Let's pull out some stocks on the Nifty 50, some of the top gainers. Apollo Hospitals within the healthcare space doing well, 1.3% higher. Axis Bank up 2%. HDFC Bank up 1.5%. So some of the banking names doing well. Let's pull up some of the Tata Group names. Titan, Trent, some of those names, and let's try and see Tata Consumer. Let's see what those names are doing. 1% higher on a Titan. Mind you, it's festive, and therefore you might see something on some of these counters. Flat on a Trent, no real move. Tata Consumer up 0.5% as well. So you're seeing a decentish move on some of those Tata Group names as well, especially on the consumption side. Tata Power, not much of a move, and Tata Motors doing okay in trade. Auto names, let's pull some of those up. M&M made a fabulous move the other day. I want to also pull up an Asian Paints. You know what? That one has made an absolutely fabulous move last week. I want to see what it's doing today. 1% higher. holding up on the gains that it made last week. So Asian Paints doing fairly well for itself as well. Let's look at some of the other ones. Mazagon Dock, yes, there was an MOU signed with a French company, 1% higher on a Mazagon Dock, and Ircon International on the back of Ordowin also doing okay in trade, but no real move. The movers are within the pack, largely within the banking pack because of the earnings and the numbers that have come out on the Nifty banking index in particular and the banks overall. Shriram Finance, as well as if we can also pull up a Federal Bank. I want to see where those rates are settling in at, because fundraising in these two pockets expected, or these two stocks expected, and you're seeing that phenomenal 4.5% move on a Federal Bank hold up. And AU Bank, is that holding up as well? 7.5% move. Want to see whether that one is also holding up or not. Well, that one also doing fairly well, holding up 7.5% higher. Bharti Airtel is doing well as well, 1.25% higher. And private sector banks are really taking a swing at it today. Let's look at the Nifty PSU banking index as well, and let's pull up some names within that pack. And SBI, a Can Bank, well, up a percent or so. SBI up 0.6%. Canara Bank, PNB came out with numbers, by the way. So you want to see how that one has moved. Bank of Maharashtra is up 1%. Can Bank was up 1%. A PNB will give us a sense as to how the street is reacting to the numbers there. And that one too up around 1.25%. So decent kind of a move on the index that we're seeing, 0.8% as we stabilize for the day. Back to you in the studio.